let's try this again. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, beloved. Please join me in prayer. There's some background music. Somebody sing. All right, well, let's join in prayer, please. Good morning, Trinity. I thank you for the waking breath that got us up this morning, even though today was never promised.
Recording in progress.
For guiding us safely to this space, for embracing us as we entered into this home. Spirit, roll back our shoulders, unclutter our minds, expand our core right now, and ready us for all that you have laid out for this day. Speak to us anew through the stories in your holy word, through the testimony of our own lives, and in the truths of your beloved children who are screaming all around us every day. May today be a day we listen for your kingdom. Amen.
Amen. Is there music connected to this video?
I don't think it's on this. It's Rebecca's alarm.
It's me, I'm sorry. It's 9 o'clock, if I'm not out the house, I need to be.
What's the alarm?
There's a calming music. I thought it wasn't taking. How is that alarm?
My apologies.
No, it's apparently an alarm.
If I have that for the alarm, I will.
I invite you into this mother's story from Matthew 15, 21 to 28.
Umalis doon si Jesus sa tagpuing malapit sa Tiro at Sidon. Isang Canaanite na nakatira doon ang lumapit sa kanya na sumisigaw, Panginoon, anak ni David, maawa po kayo sa akin. Ang anak kong babae ay sinasapian ng demonyo at labis na pinapahirapan ito. Ngunit hindi sumagot si Jesus. Lumapit ang kanyang mga alagad at sinabi kay Jesus, Alisin na nga po ninyo siya. Napakaingay niya at sunod ang sunod sa atin. Sumagot si Jesus, sa mga naliligaw na tupa ng sambahayan ng Israel lamang ako'y sinugo. Ngunit lumapit sa kanya ang babae. Lumuhod ito at nagmakaawa. Tulungan po niyo ako, Panginoon. Sumagot si Jesus, hindi dapat kunin ang pagkain ng mga bata at ibigay sa mga aso. Totoo nga, Panginoon. Ngunit ang mga aso man po ay kumakain ng humong nalalaglag sa hapag ng kanilang Panginoon. Tugon ng babae. At sinabi sa kanya ni Jesus, napakalaki ng iyong pananampalataya. Mangyayari ang hinihiling mo.
Sinasabi sa kanya ni Jesus, Ginang, napakakalaki ng inyong pananampalataya. Mangyayari ang hinihiling mo. At naang, diin gumaling ang kanyang anak. Woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish. And her daughter was healed from that moment. I heard the story regarding this woman several times in a couple of different versions, told from the perspective of the men in the story, primarily, from the supposed intentions of Jesus in the story. But I recall the early morning in Asheville, North Carolina, in the quiet of my sleeping room, when I entered into her story. When I finally saw her, heard her voice, caught faint echoes of her daughter's voice, and that of an invisible community that I imagined was also part of her story. And I talked back. And through tears, I said these words to her. Can I just tell you, I have watched you from afar, and, well, my reactions have gone from disdain to anger to seeking understanding to resonating to all-out admiration. At first, I couldn't get over that you were actually yelling after him and his barcada, his friends. Like, what made you think your troubles were even worth their time? And to yell like you had no sense, have you no shame? I thought to myself. And then when he called you a dog, it wasn't directed at you, but the anger I didn't even know I had just flooded me. Like that slur was never really in my story, but it is. It hints at my kapabayan, my countrymen. And there you were, taking it, standing your ground and knowing that wasn't the last word. So I wanted to know why. I wondered how many times did you have to duck in between talking heads just to get to the door? How many people had you already gone to try to state your case, to get some help? And how many times had you been ignored before all there was left to do was to cry out, to yell and forget about your tone of voice? How many times, my sister? Because I know what it feels like to be at your breaking point, to just let loose what was inside all the time. I know what it feels like to just scream when your family is in danger. You don't even try, it just happens. You never knew you can get that loud and frenzied. No shame anymore. Now, I don't want to tell your story, but can I ask, was it just about your girl? Or was there more behind your shouts? Was there more that you were trying to say? Was there something you were trying to change? What else made you hopeless enough to come out of yourself? Because there you were, taking it like a champ, quick-witted, falling down, yet head held high. Walahia, no shame, no more, and victorious for your family, for your people, for you. Just bold. Matapang. I never learned that word until I studied you. Matapang. And can I just tell you, I've watched you from afar, and eventually, I found myself right there, next to you. I mean, this woman came out from behind herself and made this conversation with Jesus real. About half of you have gone through fierce training, and you might remember that principle, coming out from behind yourself to make the conversation real. She risked a conversation in her gradually to get to her desired suddenly, which was the healing of her daughter. Her self-proclaimed identity as a mother won out over her externally labeled identities of religious outsider and female objectified nuisance. This mama exemplified cultural self-awareness and cross-cultural negotiation as she traversed borders of geography, doctrine, ethnicity, and gender to pursue what was for her a source of survival. And while the conversation with this source was at first dismissive and degrading, through both of their persistence to stay in it, this conversation expanded the mission. The goodness of the news expanded the kingdom. Whose stories today are pushing out the borders of God's grace, of Jesus' mission, of the Spirit's healing, yet are being stifled by us disciples? Whose story is being shouted out to the very part of your soul that you have concretized in an unhealed narrative that so desperately wants to be transformed? Who is pleading to Trinity even now? In this, our home, in our constituencies, in our networks, in our blind side, that we are shushing as we stand on our soapboxes, that we are ignoring as we stay rigid in our ethnocentrism, that we are bypassing as we are caught up in our busyness. Whose story is simply asking for conversation. In the next couple of days, as we sharpen our boldness to tell, let us also be mindful of the ongoing opportunities to listen, to receive, to resonate, to reciprocate, and to respond to the expanding mission of God. May it be so.